Well, hello, students. It's been forever. It's Mrs. Donahue. I am returning to you now in March. The last time I made a video was December because I took a 6th class and all of my time went away and things have been crazy. And I just randomly looked at the YouTube page to see if I had some videos for class, and I realized that I had 300 views on my Mandalorian reaction, so I'm kind of a big deal. But I thought that because many of you have been asking me my feelings on, of course, the grand influx of nerd stuff that has occurred since, we're actually getting shows back and potentially some movies, and things seem to be going well. I wanted to do a little WandaVision review. Then I'll kind of circle back around to Snyder Cut and Falcon and the Winter Soldier because it's all happening again. So for WandaVision, while many of us talked kind of periodically about WandaVision as it was being dropped, I maintained the entire time that we had to be very critical of the timeline. Not like the internal timeline of what was going on in the show, but the fact that COVID really messed up the drop schedule for Marvel. And it's not something that anyone could help because they clearly wanted content to start coming back out. We all wanted content to start coming back out. And you have to start dropping things that sort of connect everywhere else. You need to give people something to do, and you need to remind them of your importance to their lives, and you need to remind them to show up. Marvel probably was real upset because Star Wars had Mando drop during the break and then had to announce we're behind on filming the next part, but they're filming Mando season 3 in about 2 weeks, and allegedly Boba Fett already started filming. So Star Wars started to pace Marvel, and I can't imagine Kevin Feige was happy about that. And I like to imagine in my head that Jon Favreau and Kevin Feige are texting each other like little frenemies, very competitively. So I like to imagine that Favreau's rubbing Feige's face in the fact that he's up on his filming and Feige is behind. Feige still has the problem of Black Widow. So in the regular world, the drop schedule for the new phase led with Black Widow. I imagine because Taskmaster is our villain and we have a bunch, I would imagine Thunderbolts in there, and I would imagine Thunderbolts and Falcon and the Winter Soldier too. I would imagine that those were fairly important groundworks to go into some of the other shows. And the purpose behind the shows, because I remember first seeing the shows and going why WandaVision and why Loki and why Falcon and the Winter Soldier? Not that I'm complaining. Loki and the Sam Bucky combo are some of my favorite all-time moments in Marvel. But why? They clearly are pieces of plot and exposition that need more space than a standard movie. If the Snyder Cut has taught us anything, it's that if the exposition needs to be 4 hours, you have to give it 4 hours. You have to give it 6 hours, 7 hours. WandaVision had enough exposition for the incoming Marvel phase to require 9 episodes at damn near 4.5 hours of total viewing time. It's a lot. And at the end, you can almost feel unsatisfied if you forgot how much you actually received. You could not have done that in a movie. Not by a long shot could you have done that in a movie. And the thing that I don't think enough people are talking about is that there's still a fairly large lingering question, more than one, but there's one that really bothers me at the end of WandaVision. So, things we received from WandaVision. 1, because they have revealed that Wanda had her powers prior to the Mind Stone jump-starting them or increasing them, but she was born with the witch powers. The Scarlet Witch and the witch powers are 2 separate things, but she was born with some sort of mutation. This is it. This is canon. This is mutants. We have mutants. They didn't definitively say anything about Magneto. So as far as I'm concerned, Magneto's still a potentiality because they didn't say no. We have the Scarlet Witch. Even my husband, we had to move to a new house because my husband's statue collection could not exist in the same house as 2 children. We didn't have enough bedrooms. We had to get more space. He's been reading comics since he was 4 years old. he's the bigger fan. And I looked at him when they said the phrase Scarlet Witch, and I went, oh, it's the first time they've said it. And he went, no, it's not. And I went, yeah, it is. And he took a moment. He was like, is that really the first time they've said it? And I said, yes, because of the copyright issues. We finally have the Scarlet Witch. And we had the old school costume, which was really cool. Agatha Harkness, which we all low-key assumed. Like, we figured that was who she was. But the fact that we have a confirmed Agatha Harkness and the Fantastic Four rumors are so hot they burn, I am cautiously optimistic that we're getting Franklin Reeves. That could be a really cool thing to do. That part of the reason Agatha's like kind of power hunting is that she's trying to like absorb energy to stay alive or something, and that one of the sources she's trying to absorb energy from could be the Fantastic Four themselves because she has Franklin hostage. Where have the Fantastic Four been? We have to address the fact that you're missing like the first family of Marvel. Where have they been? You have a movie, you have Cap, and then you have Captain Marvel, and then you have all the modern movies, all the modern action. Where the hell were the Fantastic Four all this time? We need to answer that question. I'm going to say if you at least have Franklin Richards with Agatha Harkness somewhere, then the answer is that they were searching for their son in different dimensions and different space-times. There's also a real indication that we're going to be getting Nova or Adam Warlock in the new phase. And I am here for that. Give me Nova. The fact that I have not seen Richard Rider in a Marvel movie yet is damn near criminal. But anyway, other things we've gotten from WandaVision. We have the knowledge that Wanda's powers are like essentially core cosmic goop of reality creation. So she can create and destroy reality. We have Photon now with Monica Rambeau, and I thought it was cool. I have deep dark feelings on Captain Marvel, and there's a video to prove it, but like there was some redemption arc here for me with characters that I thought were vastly misused in that other film, and like I want this here. I liked what they did with the blip. I thought that was good. We have Darcy Lewis. So we have the continuation of like the Earth team with like Jane Foster. This is going to play into the new Thor movie, I would think, because we're going to have Worthy Jane wielding the hammer. We got Vision. I will say, critically, I thought it was incredibly unclear what they did with Vision. Because when the two Visions are talking and then you don't have White Vision anymore, White Vision becomes the colored Vision because he's like, I am Vision. I have all my memories back and therefore I am myself. And then he flies away. I don't know why I thought this, but in that moment, I thought the Wanda created Vision like disintegrated, unmade himself because he gave the other Vision everything. And I thought that Vision like flew up into the air to have like a kind of zenning Superman moment. And then he was going to come back down. The Vision that went to the kids, I assumed was White Vision converted to real Vision. And I assumed we only had one Vision on the board, but we don't. We have two and one of them's missing in action. That part I really did think was unclear. Only because they changed the colorations of the Visions. If they had not, I would have been a little bit more clear on it. I get why they didn't change. I get why they changed it symbolically, but visually it was confusing. And then at the end, when she was unmaking the world and she unmade the kids, which at least I did think that we weren't unmaking them, but we have them probably in limbo somewhere. But like when Vision was looking at her and you could see that she had committed to unmaking Vision again, and she was unhappy about it, but she was doing it, right? I thought that he knew he wouldn't disintegrate because he was the real Vision. And he was just, it was almost like a test for her. Like she had to be okay with letting them go. And because she was okay with letting them go, she could keep him. It still would have been weird because they couldn't keep the boys. But like, I thought that's the angle they were playing. So I do have to admit to a little bit of disappointment when that wasn't what happened. But I mean, Vision's back. So we have Vision back. We'll have Loki back in some weird way. I mean, we will have a Black Widow. I'm here for the rumors of Cap coming back, not in traditional Cap mode, but like multiverse Caps. Like I want to see Hydra Cap. I would love to see full action like Hydra Cap. I would love it. Of other things we got from WandaVision, there was the engineer that Monica Rambeau refers to. And there's a few possibilities, but like there's your sort of second connection to Fantastic Four. Because WandaVision as a show was originally slated to drop directly before Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, it was supposed to basically drop with enough time to release every episode and then boom, hit Doctor Strange. I believe we're getting Fantastic Four and Doctor Strange. We're already getting a bunch of stuff, and it's called Multiverse of Madness, and it's supposed to be a horror movie, and that kind of fits the vibe of WandaVision, where it's like really uncomfortable and creepy for a lot of the space. Like we're unhinged a lot of times watching WandaVision. You're uncomfortable. They dodged the Mephisto moment, which I think if we had all the drops, we wouldn't feel so disappointed that we didn't get Mephisto. I hold on to the belief that there's something big in Falcon and the Winter Soldier and Black Widow that when we reflect and we do a chronologically correct viewing of the new phase, I feel like it'll play better. But we got a lot. And frankly, Agatha's weird bunny, Senor Scratchy, is something. Like, there was a discussion about a deleted scene where it was revealed he was a demon, but like, there's something more to there. I mean, there's a reason we keep Agatha alive. And the Evan Peters red herring, I will admit to being upset. You should have just gone for it. You should have just gone for, we couldn't bring back your brother, your real brother, because you're the only one with reality creating powers, and the rest of us don't have that kind of power, but we can snatch somebody from a different universe. And I thought they were going to more obviously say that her power created rifts in reality that were creating kind of multiverse confusion. Because we're getting Spider-Verse. We're getting freaking Spider-Verse. Andrew Garfield was seen on set. We have a Garfield. We're going to have Emma Stone, I would imagine. She is pregnant right now, so maybe not. Maybe she's taking a break, but that would still be kind of cool. I'm going to have Spider-Gwen in live action. I don't really care how, but I'm going to get it. We're getting it. We're having this big crossover of multiple universes. I thought they were going to lean heavier into it. But at the end, when she's doing the Doctor Strange thing and she's looking through the book and she's reading about all of her powers, the call from the boys is probably either from Limbo or from another universe. So they might have thought that was a more obvious and like heavy-handed nod that we don't get because we lost context, because if this is all being seen out of sequence. So, and we got Skrulls. Which I have to say, if that was like supposed to be our like big ooh moment, I was more impressed with the screen cap of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, where there was a bar with just a wall of Skrull skulls. But Secret Invasion's happening. I will say, the thing that most tantalizes me about Secret Invasion was that many, many moons ago, a couple of things were said by people that I hope were serious. Because sometimes the internet's wonderful and the internet remembers things. Like, the internet apparently remembered that in a random interview for Triple Frontier, Oscar Isaac said he would love to play Snake for Metal Gear Solid, and apparently he's playing Snake for Metal Gear Solid because somebody was able to remember this. Oscar Isaac's also, his training video for Moon Knight came out, and I hope you're all interested in hearing about Moon Knight perpetually as soon as it drops, because it's going to be the only thing I care about. So Hugh Jackman said he would come back for Wolverine for something akin to like a major crossover Avengers style arc. And rumor has it they have an offer out. The Russo brothers, who did all the Captain America movies and Infinity War and Endgame, who said that like having done that successfully, they were sort of bowing out, also said the only thing they would come back for is Secret Wars. So like, who could potentially really eloquently handle the integration of X-Men and Fantastic Four and the overall arc, but the people who did Infinity War and Endgame, and they're going to have they're going to have Skrulls to play with. The thing about Skrulls, that now that we know that the Skrull is here, the thing that this introduced is a concept in WandaVision that nobody's happy enough with because they wanted more from WandaVision, which I don't understand why. It was brilliantly made. It's some of the best made television This is how the people are going to make television from now on. They're going to give television shows movie level budgets, and they're going to say go. But anyway, if certain people have been Skrulls since the 80s, and Skrulls can look like anything, we can recast anybody. We can recast anybody. Any of the original Avengers could all be Skrulls that were just Skrulls as the superpowered person, like Skrulls in disguise. Like, we can have a lot of people potentially replaced or recast. I am very curious what they will do with that. I'm extraordinarily curious because you have funny things like Chris Evans has played Johnny Storm and he's played Captain America, and you could do like a funny little nod to that. You could have, oh my goodness, so much like Deadpool style fourth wall breaking and crossover. There's a lot to play with here. You could bring in all the previous X-Men cast members and just sort of like play around with who was and is not a Skrull. There's a lot. There's a lot. I also really enjoyed, I enjoyed the emotional component of WandaVision. So like, I'll be the sappy person to say, the fact that they made grief the overwhelming theme of it, real authentic grief that makes you selfish and mean and cruel and tired, and like the fact that that was what they dropped and that was the tone they took, and they took it after a year of quarantine where a lot of people are just stressed and thinned out and just can't handle it anymore, and like grief is becoming this sort of byline of many people's lives. I thought it was appropriate. I will cap it here because I have to go to Extra Help, but it's good seeing you guys all again. And apparently some people think that I'm mildly entertaining. So like, hey, see y'all around.